Welcome in, everybody, to the 23rd episode of Mother's Jail. Tonight's session is titled The Price of Divinity, and it is the first session of our 6th chapter, Whispers Awakened. Last time, when we all got together, there was more smooching, which I feel like I could say on almost every episode, it feels like.
But it won't be this one.
Maybe not.
We'll
Maybe
see.
not. I mean, listen, we'll see.
We'll see. We're all meeting new people. Who knows
Yeah.
what'll
We
happen.
might
The
find a
polycule might
way.
expand. I don't know.
Ah, shit.
I don't know. I'm with the BBEG right now.
Can we have a poly dream?
I'm not a bard.
All right,
Oh,
Rashira.
God.
I know what to do.
Yeah, exactly. She's gonna bring you all back together. Last time when we
Come
all
together.
got together, yeah, there was indeed more smooching and some people making their peace with some of the stuff that is going on in this war. Brayley, in particular, is struggling a bit with making the transition, say, from random girl who liked spelunking and finding mushrooms to potential hero of world. That is a bit of a jump. We also had a romantic talk between Canis and Ramiel. And we also had a plan put in place for how to attack Fort Argenti and how to launch our preemptive strike. This involved sending out Captain Akanai, whose fate is currently unknown, to basically commandeer an ironclad ship and embrace those oldest and noblest of traditions and
Good plan.
go pirating up the coastline, while the party then took that as their opportunity to attack the fort itself. The plan was solid. The execution was solid. The circumstances, not as much. As the party reached the fort, they found that it had already been attacked. It was a pile of smoking rubble, and everyone, man, woman, child, or otherwise inside the city was mounted on a giant metal cross and was bleeding out into the bay. And also there was none other than the Dawn Scale, the leader of the Draconic Legion, the leader of the Ivory Dragonborn, and beknownst to the players, also the fifth-born child of the Prime Goddess, Dragon, and the world's first dread demon. While talking with the Dawn Scale, the party ordered a retreat of their own soldiers, sending them back towards Highwall, and the Dawn Scale decided that this has gone on for long enough and revealed their intent to unite all the peoples of the world under one banner, her banner. She sent each of you across the world of Serene to effectively convince the peoples of the continent that you were sent to lay down their arms and join her side, sending you specifically to where the Whispers in Silence are said to be, thinking that, well, who better would people listen to? With the exception of Ramiel, who demanded to see his mother, and so she agreed and took him along back to the Dawn Peak, or to the Morning Peak. And that's where we left off. So, I need everyone who isn't Ramiel. No, even Ramiel. I need everybody to roll a d20 for me.
Honestly, bold assumption that she thought we would listen to her and like actually tell them to surrender.
14, 4, 9. All right. Well then, let's get things up. We will start tonight on the continent of Undwar. Nova, before your eyes open, you feel something before you like actually see anything, and what you feel is uncomfortable.
Oh.
You feel the grating of sand against your flesh.
Oh, it's getting everywhere.
You feel that kind of uncomfortable of like the waves just having completely soaked through your clothes. And as you open your eyes, you have indeed washed up on shore.
Rashida, how long was I out?
For about 8 hours.
8 hours. Goodness. Where are we?
I really could not say. I've only been able to see around you, and it's just beach.
Oh.
Please
She-
pardon that I forgot to speak in her accent.
Nova's check-in. Do they have all their stuff?
Yeah, you start checking your stuff as you kind of like push up into a sitting position. You've got everything that you had with you when you left, although not all of it is currently on you. Some of it is washed up onto the shores.
Yeah, I'm trying.
So you're able to start gathering it back up. Yeah. As far as you can see, you just see this beautiful shoreline, and it is picturesque. It's very nice here. The weather is warm. You're definitely not on Mother's Jail anymore. This is, or I guess you could still be. You might be on the Crown. But the trees don't look quite the same as you remember when you went to Mitra Scaleth.
You know, I said I wanted to go see the beach, but not quite like this.
You know, actually, it does look sort of familiar.
It does?
I think you are on Undwar.
Undwar. With the dwarves?
Yes.
Why in the 9 L's would I be an Undwar right now?
That I could not say.
All right. Do you know if we're near a city? Perhaps I can...
No, this is just beach as far as I can tell, and unsurprisingly, I do not know what all the beaches look like.
beach.
It looks like sand and running water.
Yes. How pretty. All right. Is there like a jungle before me or a bunch of trees? Or...
Yes, it is. You are in a tropical area, so there is a lot of jungle in front of you, and a lot of beach to the north of you.
Okay. Well, I think I am going to walk along the beach and see if I can find some sort of civilization.
You start your journey up along the beach. And it is, as I say, quite beautiful. If it weren't for the fact that you were sent here by Dragon, it would probably be great. This would be an awesome place to end up.
Mhm.
But this place is quiet and peaceful. And it isn't too long before you do come across somebody. Not exactly who you were hoping to find, but somebody.
Okay.
Walking along the beach holding a little burlap sack is a young child. They have this kind of dark, almost indigo hair that is pulled into two braids running down their back, and are wearing just this really cute brown dress that doesn't seem to... it seems a little nice to be wearing on the beach, we'll put it that way.
I see.
But she's just skipping along and is picking up seashells. You would guess... I mean, she's very small.
Yeah. Dwarves are
But
small.
for a dwarf, yeah. She's probably 10 to 12 in that area.
Okay. Well, I can at least have a conversation.
And she's just humming to herself as she's picking up seashells along the way.
Hello?
She glances up and looks down towards your feet. I wouldn't step on that seashell.
I look down.
There is a rather spiny-looking seashell that is there. And she nods. That one's venomous. Although I don't. Yeah, the venom's probably all gone by now, but you know, best not to find out the hard way.
Thank you for the warning.
She looks around. Do you have any seashells? Have you found any?
No, I have not been looking for seashells.
That's a shame. This beach is really good for seashells. It's got a lot of mollusks shells, but not a whole lot of bivalves.
All I am remembering is the conversations with Brayley about the different types of mushrooms, and I nod.
I found a sinistral shell the other day. It was pretty cool. You want to see it?
Sure.
She nods. Did you know that most shells are dextral? That means they open to the right, but every so often you'll get one that's sinistral, and those are really rare. And she pulls out a what you would describe as a conch.
Yeah.
And indeed it opens up to the left when you hold it up, and that makes it extremely rare.
Oh, well, would you look at that? I've never paid attention to the openings of seashells.
Oh, that's really important with seashell collecting.
I see you enjoy collecting seashells.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very nice. Would you happen to have a home or a city you come from nearby?
Oh yeah, I stay with my parents up the way.
All right. Well, I could use some help from an adult. If you don't mind pointing me in the direction.
She looks at you and kind of frowns. I just went out to start collecting today. All right, come on. And she turns and starts walking back with you. But as she's walking back, she's like, "Did you know that mollusks only ever have one shell in their entire lifetime?"
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. Hermit crabs will occupy a bunch of them, but those are crustaceans, not mollusks.
What I'm going to regret asking is, what is the difference between mollusks and crustaceans?
Oh, like crustaceans are like crabs or lobsters, things of that nature.
Uh-huh. You don't eat mollusks, I suppose.
Oh, you can. Mussels and clams.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mom says you shouldn't keep those shells. Well, you can keep those shells, but you have to let them soak in vinegar first to get all the icky stuff off them.
Your mother sounds like a smart woman.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Well, my name is Nova.
Oh, hi.
Do you have a name you would like me to call you?
Oh, I'm Opal. Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too, Opal.
She walks you up the beach, and indeed, as you make your way along, you do indeed find a small beach house that is there. It is nothing to write home about, but it is kind of in a secluded area where some of the trees have been cut away. There is a bonfire out front with smoke rising up, and standing out in the water with his pant legs both rolled up to his knees and clearly fishing around for something. You see an elven man with long, beautiful blonde hair and a series of scarring down the right side of his face. One of his eyes is clearly blind due to the injury. And he looks up and then blinks when he sees you. Opal, come here, please. And she nods. Yes, Dad. And she hurries over. And she starts showing him all of his seashells, or all of her seashells. And he's like, yes. Oh, that's a good one. No, that's great. Yeah, no. Do you remember when we talked about if we see strangers? Okay, yes, we also talked about helping people who need it, but okay, great. Just go inside and find Mom, please. Please.
Nova puts her hands up. I'm very sorry. I just needed to find an adult to talk to.
Yeah, well, that's no worries.
I sort of got swept up, I think teleported here. It's a bit confusing.
That's high-level magic. He definitely seems very guarded.
Yeah. My name is Nova. Nova Hayes. I'm supposed to be on Mother's Jail. But I got transported here.
All the way from Mother's Jail, huh?
Yes, it's. I don't know who this is, right? I just want to make sure.
No, you don't
Okay,
know this person.
That's fine. I just want to make sure. I know this is a lot to try to explain. I suppose I need to look for someone who is. Sorry, pause. Did Dragon tell us that we needed to talk to a Whispers in Silence specifically, or just said, like, you go here?
She
think
she
she
did tell you to
named
go.
them.
She told you specifically go speak to the silly little dwarf.
The silly little dwarf.
Yep.
Oh, that's descriptive.
Arguably,
Cool.
you've already done that.
I know, arguably, we did that. But didn't say, like, for what group or whatever?
No.
Okay, cool. Nova is the least knowledgeable of the Whispers in Silence, so this will be interesting. This doesn't really make a lot of sense, but we're in the middle of a war, and things have gotten a little out of hand.
They frequently do with wars. You speak with an Undwaran accent.
Oh, that's even trickier to explain.
Hmm.
Ugh.
I'd start explaining if I were you. He has a definite guarded
Yeah.
and very dangerous edge about him right now.
All right. Could I try with a persuasion check to kind of
Sure.
ease him a little bit?
Yes, you may.
17.
Okay.
Not the greatest roll. So I am part of some military efforts in Mother's Jail, and we were in the middle of a mission, and it turns out we met. Oh boy, we met Dragon, and she was angry and has been transporting us, and I was told I needed to find a silly little dwarf, which sounds very stupid now that I say it out loud.
Looks at you kind of cautiously. What did you say your name is?
Nova Hayes.
Okay. My name is Martine Faulkner. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I wish it was under better circumstances.
Well, I presume what you said. Let's go off the assumption that what you're saying is true.
All right, good place to start.
If Dragon sent you to speak to a dwarf, it would likely be my wife.
Oh. That seems convenient.
They've met before.
Oh.
You really don't know much about the events with Scala 20 years ago, do you? You look young. I'm not surprised.
I was only a child, and I was raised in a... My mother was someone from the brothel. I don't get much news.
Daughter of an Undwaran prostitute. Interesting.
No, the accent is... so...
Nova, sometimes it's okay to lie for the convenience of it.
Yeah, I know. So I'm like, shit. Yes. So that was where I got it, and I never quite got rid of it.
All right. Wait here.
12 in deception. Yikes, my rolls are bad.
He
course.
tells you to wait there, and he goes inside for a moment. Meanwhile, I need everyone else to roll me a d20.
Nova's just antsy. Yeah, I was, because I didn't even think about that, and I was like, oh shit, I don't know how to explain this. I have a person in my head who is actually from the moon.
Brayley and Layla, rollies for me.
Oh boy, I can't hear my nose.
Oh, do you need me to roll?
Nope.
Okay.
You're fine. All right. we jump over to a place that we've seen before in this campaign. We jump over to the continent of Alcana. In the city of Caldanesh, Layla, you're awakened by water splashing in your face. As you awaken to find yourself sitting in an alleyway between two of these large kind of Adobe-esque buildings, and standing over you, a barkeep who has just flung water in your face. All right.
Like,
You know, I get it in the morning, but
Okay.
it's afternoon by now, so it's time for you to go.
Yes. And just like get up and scurry away.
You find yourself in
Try and
these...
find my way.
Yeah, you find yourself back in the streets of Caldanesh, and fortunately, you do kind of remember your way around. You were only here for a day, but you did get to where you needed to go then.
Enough to know this is where the important buildings are? Something like that?
I mean, you'd at least be able to ask your way around, I think, to get
Okay.
to the government buildings.
Because what exactly was I told?
You were told go and meet with, basically go convince the people of this continent to lay down their arms and to be prepared to be conquered.
Okay. So yeah, head back to that stuff.
You make your
Where-
way back to the government building of Caldanesh, and it is there that you actually don't have to look very far to see Falah. She is currently in the kind of that open administrative area outside of her office and is walking around kind of in quick succession talking to people. She looks very busy at the moment because it's almost like she's rediscovered a people that have been thought extinct for a long time, and that turns out to be a lot of effort and work.
You know, just slap that on your to-do list.
Yeah, on top of an already very busy to-do list. But when she looks up and notices you as she walks by, she stops because she doesn't see a whole lot of jet dragonborn and kind of blinks like, hey, don't I... Like, it's the meme of, like, driving by in the car, like, don't I...
Yes, Layla.
Right. You were with the rest of the people from Mitra Glorianda.
Correct. Although I do find myself here under, I suppose it would be more mundane travel circumstances than an airship.
I would say most
Uh,
things would be, yes.
How would you rate magical teleportation?
To Caldanesh, it's pretty high. Where's the rest of your group?
Elsewhere, we've become something of a scattered bunch in the last hour or so.
You look like you
Uh,
could use some water.
Yes, and there's news.
Well, I'll
and-
assume it's bad news because no one ever shows up to give me good news anymore.
I'd say that's a fair assessment.
Great. She kind of reaches down to her flask on her hip, downs a drink of it, and offers it to you.
Take a sip.
Yep. It is rubbing alcohol, effectively. But being an Uruk, it's right up her alley.
Oh my. So,
Let's talk in my office, she says.
yes.
Well, the trade negotiations that we opened up with Mother's Jail seems to be going well enough. I'll presume that's not what brings you here.
No, we had an encounter with, Dragon.
Which
is
dragon?
How I the capital D dragon. Which is how I find myself here, courtesy of her abilities.
As in child of the goddess dragon.
The very same.
She kind of sits on the edge of her desk and rubs her temples. Well, I can't say I've ever had the pleasure. My mom did, and her friends. They all met the prime goddess and dragon, which is even today an insane thing to say out loud, but they did.
Oh. I don't quite know what to make of that, but
Wait, you're saying did you go to a different? They described it as being in the void.
No.
You went to the void?
No, we were, and I'll give her the rundown of the whole thing of, hey, we were going here, and then she was there, and the message of lay down your arms and surrender, which I feel we don't even need to give serious discussion to actually acquiesce in.
A rather guilty look comes over her face. Maybe a few years back, a friend of mine came and told me that she'd seen a vision of some coming apocalypse, and I told her not to worry.
Do you remember any details?
She's a priestess. She said that Laki spoke to her, and to be clear, she's
Oh.
always been a little, well, her and her wife both have always been a little on the esoteric side.
Hold on, I'm having a little bit of trouble. Is this knowledge I have as a player, or do I have that in character?
I think you have it as
'Cause
a
I'm
player.
I'm thinking now that she was just talking with Nova.
All right. Let's talk, because we're gonna have to. We got a lot to talk about.
Indeed.
Brayley, over on Mitra Glorianda, you wake up. Well, you're not quite certain where you are. All you know is that all around you there are soldiers that are training. People are readying horses. You look to be in a fort of some kind.
Mm. She's gonna like look around. Who's the closest person to her?
You see an elven man in chain armor who is guiding a number of soldiers through their drills. He has kind of this long blonde hair that is braided back into a single tail as he is barking out orders at them.
Excuse me? She like really is gonna get up and start walking towards him.
He looks around like, what are you doing here? You're not one of our soldiers. This is an active war zone.
Where is here?
What do you mean, where is here? You're about a mile off the burning line.
Oh.
Can I ask a potentially important question?
Sure.
How long has Brayley been unconscious?
You're not quite sure.
I'm asking if Brayley is part wolf again.
Oh, got you. No, she's not currently.
What's her hunger meter at?
Oh, wait, did we eat before we left? I feel like we would have.
Yeah, we did.
You would have eaten before you went to battle, yeah.
There was a
We had-
barbecue last night.
You're in Bellis Varus.
Oh boy.
Oh, can I speak to someone in charge?
You certainly can, and he is going to put you in handcuffs.
Oh.
You are
This is necessary, sir.
you are under arrest
Oh.
as a suspected spy.
Fun
Not a
stuff.
very, not a very good
As
I mean,
spy.
can you blame them?
he takes you into the main keep, a arm on your shoulder as he guides you down a couple of halls, through a door into a room that does not have a window in it, and sits you down at a table and motions to one of the guards. If she moves, kill her.
Oh God.
Can I have a snack though? I'll stay still.
He gives a look.
Gonna need a snack.
Girl, don't die.
I'll send some jerky in.
Perfect.
And he goes off to presumably make a report. It seems a bit extreme. They are at war with devils and shape changers, and a random girl just showed up in the middle of the keep.
No, I was just thinking of like that as like an in-character response.
Yeah. But yes, he goes to acquire you some food.
That's very nice of him.
Well, he
That
doesn't.
is
He
pretty
orders
nice.
someone too. Ayla and Ramiel, roll a d20 for me. Oh, it's like the dice decided. Ayla, you awaken to a starkly different feeling, I think, than everyone else has. It's fucking cold. The air is thin. It is freezing cold. Your wings have layers of frost building up on them. And as you look up, you are in... It's hard to describe it as anything other than a blizzard, except it's... The tieflings of the Kartak will tell you it's not a blizzard, it's just every day. But it looks like blizzard conditions to anybody else. As you kind of come back to consciousness, yeah, you are in one of the least hospitable places on the planet.
Oh, good. Another reason to be pissed off. Finding a
That's
lot of
range.
those recently.
Just what you always wanted.
Weirdly enough, you're also closer to your homeland.
That's true. You are significantly closer to home than you once were. What would you like to do?
I'm assuming I can't see like stars or anything.
You don't see stars. If you'd like to make a perception check, though, to see what you do see, you can.
Yes, perception. My best roll.
Yes, the class. Well, you did pretty good. Looking around, at first you're thinking, oh, cool, this is how I'm going to die, because it's really cold. But in the distance, you do see among the flurries and the sharp snow-laden winds of this place, you also see what you swear is just a little column of smoke rising up. Presuming you
Guess
head
I'm
that way.
going that way, yeah.
You can go the other way if you want to.
No thanks, I choose life.
Okay. Heading that way, you eventually do start seeing signs of civilization. At first, it's just simple things like battlements that are constructed as, like, if an army was ever charging up this way, it would force them into narrow lines. You can't imagine who would ever march an army through this. What a horrible idea that would be. But if they did, this is where they would be stopped, probably.
I mean, I can maybe think of one being that would try.
Yeah, well, maybe. Eventually, you pass by a series of logs that have been cut and placed as fences and enter into a small village. This village is populated entirely by tieflings. On some level, you can't help but feel like you're back in Hell's Hold, except these tieflings don't live like the city tieflings do. These ones live a much more rugged lifestyle, so to speak. You notice immediately that most of them are not speaking. Anyone who is like huddled around somewhere talking is communicating by signing at each other, and that makes sense because it's very loud with the winds whipping up right now. But you immediately start drawing some attention.
I
Given
imagine she's also probably pissed off that she's also just straight up arcing lightning off of her, so...
yes, you definitely draw some attention. As hurrying over to you, a number of them with spears drawn approach and surround you.
I feel like Ayla is giving them a look that is best described as "make my fucking day."
One of them looks to another and motions for them to go get somebody. And coming out a moment later is one of the most gorgeous tieflings you've ever laid eyes on.
Oh my god.
She is absolutely beautiful with her long jet black hair down her back, her twin horns, deep red skin, as Lustitia approaches you, now known as Soraya. And she looks at you, kind of eyeing up and down. You speak Infernal? She says in Infernal.
I mean, that would just be Tiefling, right?
Yes.
She'll just... Yeah.
She comes from a different era. She nods. You have horns like a tiefling and a tail like a tiefling.
New development.
Price of entering these lands without permission is usually death.
Feel like her hand tightens on the whip a little bit.
Why are you here?
Didn't exactly choose to be here.
Few do. Why are you here?
Pissed off a certain dread demon. Decided to teleport me here.
She kind of straightens up at that. A dread demon. Dread demons are all gone.
Wouldn't you fucking like it if it was true?
She takes a long inhale. That is the inhale of someone who knows she should just kill you for being a liar. But if she's wrong, her wife will never let her hear the end of it. Bring her along. And she starts to walk back towards what looks to be one of the main buildings of this place. A large hut with a thatched roof, and in the center of it, a column of smoke rising up where there is likely a large fire within. Ramiel, you actually wake up very cold as well. The air here is also very thin. You, however, wake up in a prison cell. The cell is only dimly lit by a window on the opposite side of the bars that have you in. This room does have windows in it, just not in your cell. Throughout that window, you can see that it is daytime, and you can see just barely you can make out some of the other peaks, so you must be high up in the mountains. Otherwise, you are in a dimly lit, but at least somewhat clean cell. It's not like it's, a nightmare.
He is going to sit up and try and get his bearings.
You sit up and kind of look around the room. You're in for sure a dungeon, although whereas most dungeons constructed across Serene are usually underground, this is a tower of some sort that you're up in. So a bit more of a sky dungeon. You seeing out the window now, as you're standing and looking around, you can see that there are a couple of gibbets that hang outside the window. You do not want to be in one of those. There are just skeletons in them. However, you also see that there are 3 other cells in here, in this room, all of which are empty except for one. The cell just across from yours also has somebody in it, though they're currently sitting in shadows and it's hard to make them out.
Excuse me. Hello.
They seem to glance over at you through the shadows, and as they stand up to approach, they are human, which is interesting that there's a human prisoner here. They have tanned skin, are about 6 feet tall. Their hair is tightly braided and black. They are absolutely chiseled. She is quite lovely, though it's hard to place where she's from by looking at her.
Hi. I seem to have found myself in quite the predicament. Would you mind, telling me where we are?
When you stop talking, she starts to talk and is speaking a language you do not speak.
Oh dear. He is going to go through all the languages he knows. Common, Delkir, Draconic, Elvish. Oh wait, no, Common would be Draconic.
Yes, common is
Delkir,
draconic here.
Elvish, Sylvan.
You go through these one at a time, trying to greet and say hello, and each time they respond in the same language that you do not recognize.
Fuck. Shh. What can we do
She
here?
she points at you.
I point at myself, confused.
She points at herself. Violet.
And
You think
he's
she's telling you her
going-
name?
Yeah, and he's going to follow suit. He's going to point to himself and say, Ramiel.
She gives like a frustrated look. She starts to speak again, but you don't recognize any of the words that she's saying. She doesn't speak. These aren't even words that like you've heard people speak Uruk before. It's not Uruk. You've heard Alkanin. You've heard Halfling. It's none of these languages. It's like she doesn't speak a language of this world.
Does it sound like she's speaking bits and pieces from each language?
No, it doesn't. She
Oh.
sounds like she has a fully fleshed out language all her own that you don't speak.
I'm going to shake my head and uh try and sign. Well,
Okay.
not sign, but like try and convey with like pantomiming that I can't understand you.
So you pantomime at her effectively, like you point to your ear and shake your head, and like motion like speaking, and she gives a frustrated nod, but looks around.
And he's
She-
going to.
She points to
yes.
she points to
ahead.
her mind, and then kind of points to your forehead. She's go ahead and make an insight check.
Insights. 15.
She's trying to suggest, you think, if you have any way of bridging like a telepathic connection, you don't have to share a language with that.
Okay.
That is useful.
I don't think I have a spell that can do that. Yeah, I. Oh wait, hold on. No, the I thought the diadem might do something, but no. I do not
It's
have
supposed to.
Diadem
dia-
is made of cobalt, proficiency in intelligence saving throws, and use a meta magic option in spell. I mean, I still have the dormant one.
I know. I thought I had given. I put on the diadem that it let you cast.
Comprehend languages.
Yes. Okay, I apologize. You are supposed to have comprehend languages.
Okay.
I thought for sure I had put that on there. Apparently, I forgot to.
Whoops. Accidental soft lock.
Oops.
Right. Okay. I guess if like retro if she does do the mind thing, Ramiel will actually like tap on the diadem, kind of trying to like mimic the trying to mimic her. Maybe that'll activate it.
As you tap it, the gem on the front of the diadem flares once, and you've created a zone of comprehend languages. And now when she speaks, even though what your ears are hearing, you've never heard the words, you do understand what she's saying.
Oh.
Hello there.
Hello. Hi. My apologies. I've never done that before.
It's a useful trick.
Less of a trick and more of an heirloom, really, but one of the few things that my dear old dad decided to pass on.
Okay.
Right.
You've been out for a while.
I have. You wouldn't happen to know where we are, would you?
Oh, that is, you have no idea how wonderful of a question that is. The last thing I knew, I was in a field fighting devils, and now I'm here.
Devils.
So, yeah, right outside Baldur's Gate.
I'm sorry, what?
He
You don't know where
blinks,
that is, do you?
And no, I don't really know any place in Serene that has that name.
Yeah, see, there's that word again. People keep saying things like Serene and Mother's Jail, and I don't know what that is.
That would be the world Serene and the continent Mother's Jail.
Okay.
Was there a
Where's that in relation to the Sword Coast?
I have no fucking clue what you're talking about. You said your name was Violet?
Yes, Violet Aesgear.
Violet. How do you spell her last name?
Asgeir.
Asgeir.
Geir. Aesgear. Mm-hmm.
Ramiel, just call me Ramiel. We'll be here forever if I tell you my full name. But it's I
Okay.
wish we met under better circumstances, but
Me
you
too.
wouldn't have. Yes, you said you were fighting devils.
Devils, demons, a lot of things, actually, yeah.
There is actually a really important distinction between the devil and the demon around here.
Yeah, one's from the abyss, one's from the hells.
I'm going to pretend I know what those are. But how did you find yourself in? And he kind of like motions to the tower, prison cell cube.
Yeah, so like I say, I was outside Baldur's Gate. I was fighting devils and demons because Ublave had broken free. And the next thing I knew, someone was asking me if I was willing to help. And I'm like, yeah, I'm already helping. I'm doing that. And then I was outside here, and it was cold as hell, and they thought that I was an invader, and they arrested me.
She said Ublave. Would
She
Nova have shared? Oh no, no, no.
we
You
all
all know.
heard. We all heard about it.
Okay, okay. Now there's a name that I actually recognize.
Oh, that would be the one name you recognize.
Yes.
Wait, she's here too?
As it turns out, yes. She apparently was the benefactor for my commanding officer.
Violet kind of blinks and leans back. Your commanding officer serves the Archangel of the Everlasting Void.
Well, you put it like that.
See, now that sounds bad.
That's very ominous, actually.
The
I don't-
Archdemoness, Asmodeus' other half,
It's
Queen
she
of
was
Chaos.
Queen of Chaos. These are very morbid titles indeed.
Yes.
As
She's
far
the-
as my commanding officer is aware, she was given power to upset the power the balance of power, unseat those sitting in positions of power. That's as far as she's aware.
Well, that sounds like Ublave. Being someone's master, though, that doesn't sound like Ublave. Okay, look. My sister's like saving the world back home, so I need to get back to her. Cause like she's great and all, but I'm pretty sure she'll forget to eat if I am not there to remind her. She's not real good with like self-care.
And Romuald kind of like nods sagely. I know the types.
Yeah, okay, well, that's great. She's a lot. But she's pretty awesome, so I do need to figure. Can you help me get back to? You don't even know where the Sword Coast is. Do you know where Faerun is?
No.
Great.
That doesn't sound like any continent on Serene that I'm aware of, but I know a few casters who may know something. My auntie well, would she actually actually I actually don't. No, my aunt's mother might know a few things. She's a professor, and she studies the stars. She might know something about that.
I mean, I'll take anything for a lead. Although I guess we gotta not get put to death first.
And you're the only other person around here. There's no other occupants. No purple scale dragonborn who. Well,
No. Well, not in here. I've seen the purple dragonborn. She's come in here a couple times and just looked at you and then left.
he blinks at that. Did her scale shine like gems?
I mean, it's pretty dark in here, but I mean, a little bit, yeah.
And you say she visited more than once?
Yeah, a few times. She's been here every hour like clockwork. I tried to talk to her, but, you know. On that note, we're going to bounce back over to Nova.
Where I conveniently lie and say, yes, my mother was Undor. We're just going to go with that.
Yeah.
It's fine. Everything is fine.
She wasn't doing the horror.
So you wait for a long moment.
Yeah. I start looking
Before
for seashells.
there you go. It's a minute before Martine comes back out and steps down onto the beach and looks to you. All right. She's gonna see you.
All right.
I explained to her the situation. You don't really know much of who she is, right?
Am I supposed to?
She's a whisper in silence.
Oh. 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 Ah. Right. I know of some. I do not know the specific people.
Okay. Well, Rialta's my wife, so just... He nods. Come along.
Nova has no idea. Of course.
You follow him in, and inside there is you see a simple little gathering area where Opal is currently at a table making a display out of her seashells. She has quite the little display made up. Each of them are properly labeled and dated. And she has them sorted by what species they come from and rarity. In the little kitchen area off to the side, you see a dwarven woman who looks back over in your direction. She's about 4.5 feet tall, same deep blue hair that her daughter has. Hers is currently cut short, and she is dressed in she's dressed in heavier clothes than you would expect for this beach environment. She's got kind of a jacket on, or a shawl almost, over a lovely pair of just simple breeches. And as you enter in, she nods and motions for you to sit.
Nova looks like they're trying as hard as they can to not touch or break anything, and goes to sit down.
Hello, my name's Rialta Folknir.
Yeah.
And I'm told that you are here from Mother's Jail.
That is correct. I am part of the Civil War effort from the Children of the Deep in Mother's Jail. And,
It's a terrible conflict happening there.
yes, extremely. We just discovered that the, Draconic Legion is being led by the original dragon?
Roll sincerity for me with your air ring, please.
No, this would be water rig for sure.
Yeah, for sure. No,
I
you're
will.
fine.
I will.
You can roll persuasion.
Yeah, it's fine. 26.
She glances over at Martine, who nods, and she nods in return. And then she reaches over, taking a cane from the edge of the counter, and uses it to walk over towards the table and sit down in a chair.
Oh dear.
Apologies.
It's fine.
Okay. So, dragon.
Yes. I
Alright.
was then transported here and told to talk to a dwarf. He was not very... He or she?
She.
She was not very specific. But, your husband assumed it meant you.
In all likelihood. I have had the displeasure of speaking with Dragon once before. They are a very angry being.
Well, they seem to want full control of the continent.
They are supposed to be imprisoned in the void, overseen by their jailer, the Prime Goddess herself. Have you any concept of how they may have escaped?
Did the Prime Goddess tell us?
No, she didn't.
I mean, I saw
We
the
all
prime.
had-
Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
was gonna say we all had that vision though.
Oh, right. Sorry. I explained to her my vision, and I will also add that the prime goddess spoke to us once.
I see. If what you say is true, and that is a big if,
It's true.
you are going to need allies. There are people I know whom can help. I will put you in touch with my niece Kelsey, and
We know Kelsey and we know Melisandre and Yuki. They are working with us right now.
her eyes kind of widen at that. How is Yuki?
I had a conversation with her girlfriend Melisandre about my concerns.
Her
but
wife.
Wife.
She corrects.
Apologies. I don't remember if they said they were married. And I think there have been some improvements. Melisandre mentioned something about Yuki having a vision.
Yes, she claimed that she spoke with Laki.
Yes.
I was there when Laki passed on into death. We all thought that perhaps she'd had a nightmare. If Dragon has truly returned, though, perhaps she was correct.
It is getting pretty bad out there, and Dragon has been creating some truly monstrous things, a thing that can steal the skins of others and mimic them.
Martine, would you please take Opal upstairs? And he nods and looks over. All right, how about you, oh, you know what? I understand, your new book came in. How about you read it to me? I don't want to read right now. Okay. I understand, but, you know what? Right now, it's important that Mom has the place to herself so she can talk to her friend. So I'll tell you what, if we read the book now, later tonight, I'll take you out and we can do some night collecting. I like night collecting. Okay. And he gratefully takes her hand and walks her upstairs.
Kaylee's heard me
Excellent.
work. Kaylee's heard me work with my old clients for too long.
Look,
You pick up some things.
your Rialta's dad was ADHD
And autism.
and autistic, and it definitely has been inherited by this child. And Martine is a very patient father.
He's learning his if-then statements.
He is learning his if-then statements and to always speak in certainties.
Oh no! I told this all to Callie. I was like, "This is what their child would be like." She went, "Okay."
I was like, what's her hobby going to be? She's not going to collect rocks like her dad. No, she wants to collect seashells. That's her big one.
I love it.
Yeah, another wouldn't it have been wonderful to have been diagnosed as a child?
And Kara, I did look up. Apple cider vinegar can be used to clean crustacean shells and won't
Hey, you
dissolve
didn't
it.
say apple cider vinegar. You said vinegar.
I didn't realize there's a difference between those two things, other than you
There
can like
is.
not like one won't make you vomit.
Yeah, we've
Why do you think
drank
the other one
apple
makes you vomit, Callie?
Fair point. But yes. So as they leave, Rialta looks at you. A long time ago, Melody asked us to come partake in the war, to come stand against whatever was starting down there. And I had to deny her. Sorry, I must do the same to you.
Are you injured?
She nods. Unfortunately. I am not the woman I once was. but I will offer you whatever aid I can. I'll tell you all I know of Dragon.
Information can be its own sort of power. And look, I also, even though I grew up in this continent, I also grew up with believing it was just a civil war. I don't exactly blame heroes for not knowing more.
Well, many times we thought we should know more than we did, and we only ever seemed to know as much as was needed.
That's annoying.
Yeah. Often the path of a hero, as it turns out, is just doing the best you can in every situation.
As I'm trying to learn, I unwittingly worked for Dragon without realizing it.
My brother is the reason Scala returned, so
What?
sometimes the best of us are tricked.
Ugh. I see. Sorry, I'm not as familiar with your stories as I probably should be.
Oh. It is... They are good stories, but what's important is what happens now, what we leave behind.
Very well. What can you give me so that we might have even a chance against Dragon?
There's very little that I could give you that would change your fortunes against Dragon. When we faced against Scala, we had the backings of the Divine, but more importantly, we had each other. Those you throw your lot in with, they'll be the difference, or not.
Are overwhelming numbers going to be enough?
She chuckles. I could read the stars for you if you like. Maybe find out.
Right. Yes, I mean, I know you may be injured, but surely you can still use your magic.
She nods.
We could really use some fortunes and some guidance right now.
You're welcome to stay for dinner. And after that, when the sun goes down, I will look to the heavens and see what they divine.
Of course, I appreciate that. Unfortunately, I do not know how I am going to get back.
That much I can help with.
It's good to have people who know magic. My magic prowess is very limited.
Do you know why I agreed to speak with you?
Because I had met Dragon?
I've had plenty of people come here and say they've met dread demons, say they have been called to greater things, but it's because I saw you in the stars that I agreed to speak with you. Two minds tethered to one soul, the twin being. I saw you in the stars.
Nova kind of unconsciously glances kind of like to the side, kind of like how she would probably talk to Ashira.
She looks up in that direction as well, as if she's looking at your Somni spirit.
You see Ashira?
I saw her in the stars.
It's a new thing. We don't really know much about it.
As I say, stay for dinner. I will tell you what I see.
Thank you. Your daughter seems sweet.
She smiles at that. She is very sweet in her own way. She's entirely too much like her grandfather.
Fair enough.
Down in the Kartok Mountains, Ayla, you are brought forward into this massive hut. Hut's not even the right word. but inside there are a number of things that you think are interesting, I would say. There's a series of weapon racks off to one side, a large map on the wall of Terrasen. There is a full fighting pit in here that is carved down into the ground where people like hop down into. And there is also what I hesitantly call a throne. It is more a big chair that currently no one is sitting in, but standing next to it is a tiefling you most definitely recognize. She was your idol growing up. As Caldana is standing there. She's wearing a heavy fur robe currently, and has a utterly massive greatsword on her back that is in the shape of a red feather. And as Soraya enters with you and walks over, speaks to her, she looks over in your direction, narrows her eyes. Walking over, she kind of grabs you by the horn and looks you over. What the hell are you supposed to be?
Sorry, how long ago was Gus?
It's been like 3 days.
Wasn't ASMR until 3 days ago.
Oh. So what, your mom was an ASMR and dad was a tiefling or something?
I mean, both were tieflings. No, you know what? You probably wouldn't believe me because it sounds fucking insane.
Try me.
Died fighting a demon, had a vision of a past life where I apparently swore to protect tieflings. Got brought back to life, had horns and a tail.
Yeah. I died once. Woke up with a moving tattoo of a phoenix on me that wouldn't let me remember shit.
Somehow I feel like I came out of this better, actually.
Yeah, I'd say so. She kind of like spins you around and like looks at your tail. Interesting style. All right. Well, Kartok tieflings aren't exactly big on people invading our lands, so start talking or I'm going to kill you.
I think there's the half a second that Ayla's like, I want to fight this, and then she's like, wait, childhood idol. Still kind of want to fight this. Okay, so I didn't choose to fucking be here. We parts of the Civil War on Mother's Jail, actually ran away from Terrasen, ended up there, ended up fighting in that. How to put this? We were going to go invade the fort. Dragon got there first. Whole population was bleeding out into the bay.
She just
She
nods
want-
like none of this has phased her yet.
She wanted us to come and tell you to surrender. I told her to go to hell, and then they woke up in a snowbank here.
That's the story you're going with, huh? All right. Prove it. She walks you over to, still holding you by the horn, she walks you over to the fighting pit and throws you down into it, and then takes her sword off and hands it to Soraya before hopping down in as well. I need you to roll for initiative.
You wanted to meet your idol. Did you want to fight your idol?
Oh, that's not good for me.
Guess what? She gets to go first.
Shocker.
She nat 20s. I love that.
That Caldana would.
Yeah, she sure would. She marches across the ring as you're still like gathering yourself, and the next thing you know, a fist just connects with the side of your face. You take 8 damage as you are spun back into the wall, and she puts both her fists up. Your turn. Her eyes have started glowing red, and you can swear you see phoenix wings like growing out of her back. Soraya looks very tired.
All right.
Again?
Well, if we're gonna fist fight this, I'm gonna need an edge, so I'm gonna crimson
No.
right.
No. You're not fist fighting it. You use your weapon. She's fist
Oh.
fighting this.
All right,
If she uses her weapon, you're
Uh,
going to get one shot.
that's true.
She brought a fist to a weapon fight.
All right, I am going to crimson right for my bonus action. So I will take 3 more damage. And then... Where the fuck did my whip go? Did it not? It's attuned. Why is it not in my actions? What the fuck?
D&D Beyond, why you be like this?
Can I tell it to add to action somewhere? It's in my equipment.
Small
it's
indie
tuned.
company.
Let me see.
I just need to refresh? I swear it was here before. No, that's just saying unarmed strike still. What the fuck?
Yeah, wait, what the fuck? Whip requires attunement, is attuned.
Did I just unequip it, re-equip it, see what happens?
Yeah, sure.
Solid
Whip,
plan.
attune. Did not appear.
All right, well, D&D Beyond continues to suck.
Cool.
It's
Love
okay.
It's
They're
great.
they're an upstart TTRPG company.
So I have
You know how
plus
they go.
2 to that. So that would be plus 9 to hit. I'm going to assume 27 will hit Caldana.
Yes, it will hit Caldana.
Alright. And I think a dirty 20 should hit her. I don't remember her AC being that high.
It does. I mean, if she was using her full gear, it wouldn't, but yes, it does.
Okay, can I... Oh, I can't even... I can't even click there to make it roll the... Alright.
Oh, did you really break D&D Beyond?
So 2d4 plus 12 is the total slashing damage, which she'll take half of because I assume she's raging. So then it'd be 4d4, 2d6 lightning damage. So total of 18 damage into her.
She takes the hit, stumbles back just a little bit, her lips curling up into a grin. All right. Yes. Oh, come on. Don't stop there. And she hauls off and punches you again.
Solid.
Oops, she nat 1 to that one.
Ooh, no.
As she comes forward for the attack this time, she suddenly gives kind of a winded look as she, it's almost like her eyes lose focus for a moment, and she stumbles a little bit before shaking her head and catching herself. You're up.
Alright. This bonus action, I'd like to rage.
All right. Makes sense.
That's gonna add onto the damn. Oh shit! Oh, there goes my dice. Guess I'll use this dice. 16 hit?
Yes.
And that'll be a 19. Does rage add to this? Is it, what type of damage is rage damage?
It's whatever type is the weapon does.
So would it be the slashing or the lightning?
It would be the slashing in this case.
Okay. So that would be 3d4 plus 12. It'd be 2 extra from each one, so that'd be plus 16.
Another 20 damage.
And then 15 lightning.
Nice. The second one, this one blasts her, and she jumps back a little bit and reaches down and just tears away the fur robe that she's wearing. Underneath, you can see she's got on kind of a leather harness, and her chest is wrapped. But what's more noticeable is the black veins webbing their way up all the way along her body.
What?
As she grins. All right. And she hauls off. Does a 19 hit your AC?
Yep.
You're going to take 5 bludgeoning damage.
So
And then...
Is that already halved, or?
Yes. And then that will also hit for another 4 bludgeoning damage. Already halved. And go ahead and make one more attack.
Can I use my bonus action for the offhand fighting with this one too, or?
Yes.
Okay, so first whip attack, 15 to hit.
No, that's not hit.
Okay. Followed up by a nat 20.
Nat 20 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay. So that would be 2d4 plus 8. Oh, so it'd be basically almost the exact same thing I've been rolling. So that's the slashing. Each one of those dice would get doubled, so that would be the lightning. And then she will follow up with the sword for her bonus action.
Alrighty.
23 to hit.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, the longsword works for reasons.
You know how it be.
Well, you see, that's because it's a real weapon.
And then that's an extra 1d6 of lightning because of. So I put a space. So then, total of 8 more damage.
This one finally gets her to stagger back a little bit further and brace a hand against the wall of the pit, and she's kind of laughing as she does. Oh. Hey, you know what, kid? You got fight in you. I like this. What do you say we try it with real weapons now? And
I feel like Ayla's having the time of her life.
And at that, Soraya's like, or we could not. All right. She climbs up out of the fighting pit and offers you a hand.
Yeah, I'll take the hand.
She literally lifts you up by your arm and sets you back down on the ground outside. And goes and grabs her fur robe and pulls it back up around her. All right. So, you met Dragon.
Wasn't the best time of my life.
No, she sucks.
Understatement, but yeah.
No, that's about right. Just to be clear, I believed you, but if you couldn't take a few hits from me, you weren't going to win anyway, so it didn't really matter.
I mean, that's fair.
So, Dragon wants what? Wants us to surrender?
I mean, that's what she wants, but like, why the hell would you give her that?
I don't know. You ever been in a war? Well, probably, I guess, if you're from
Yeah, I just came
Mother
from
Show.
one.
Yeah. Mm. It kind of sucks. Spent a long time trying to end a war.
Yeah, but
What do you-
somehow it feels better than, just letting her rule everything. That feels like a recipe for everyone to have a bad time.
Uh, so what do you think? Think we should fight?
Fucking course I think we should fight.
And you said how many people died at Fort Argeni trying to kill Dragon? So who's going to stand up to her? You?
Me, my partners, anyone that'll stand with us.
Well, I suppose more's been done with less. She sits down in the throne finally. Kind of braces her arm on the side of it. Well, look, I can't fight like I used to. Those days are over. But I might know some people who can. You talked to Falah?
Met her briefly.
She's doing better than the rest of us. She might be able to help you.
No idea how the fuck to get to Elkanah from here, but
Soraya. Yes. We're going to give this one something to eat and a room for the night. In the morning, we'll send her off. By we, do we mean I'm going to do those things? Yes, I do. It's a fancy whip you got.
found it in the mine on Elkanah.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, when The Rock talks to you, maybe picking it up wasn't the smartest idea I've ever had, but it worked out.
Let me tell you about a necklace I found one time.
Found my wife in it.
It works.
It worked out.
Yeah.
Soraya blushes at that. Meanwhile, over on Mitra Glorianda,
In jail.
Brayley, you are brought some food. It's not great food, but it is food. And your hungry tummy does not seem to complain too much about it. It is meat. So you eat. And it is about an hour later when the door opens again and a very familiar man walks in. As Sir Varys takes his helmet off and sets it down and moves to sit. Well, I didn't expect to see you back here so soon.
I didn't either. Well, see me here. See you. And me here.
Right. Well, I see my necklace ended up working out.
It might be a little broken. It keeps like turning me into like a wolf type creature. like-
Nonsense. You look more like her every day.
Oh, if that's what's supposed to happen.
I mean, I don't really know what's supposed to happen. This has never happened before.
Oh.
Everyone else I gave the necklace to, they just said it was a little itchy.
Well, hopefully that doesn't start happening either. Or that
No,
doesn't-
I think it's working this time. Listen, like we say back in the God's grasp, 8th time is the charm.
So it's a well-traveled necklace. Okay.
Yes. Well, I'm sorry that they've got you in here. Unfortunately, the stables are not available at the moment.
What?
They're the nicest rooms we have, but they're taken.
Okay.
I love it because she won't get it. Oh no.
I can't believe I didn't have the stables come back on my bingo card.
Sorry, we will explain
He
later.
looks at you for a long moment.
Don't want-
So, what does bring you here?
Um. Uh, well, it's a long story. Well, I guess here's the short version. Well, oh God, Brayley doesn't know where to start. She's like, should I start at the very beginning, then work my way up, or should I just go back a few days and work my way up?
Well,
Or
I
just
have-
when I.
My people tend to say that when looking for the proper path, the best place is to start at the beginning.
Well, my mom met my dad, and they had my brother, and then my other brother, and then they had me. And they lived a great life together, and they have a jewelry store. And then I started getting into mushroom hunting, but they wanted me to work. This might take a while. Should we sit somewhere else?
No, this is perfect. Please continue.
Well, my dad and mom wanted me to run the jewelry business, but I wasn't really into that. So then I started hanging out in the Underdark more and more. And then as we traveled around doing, the jeweler's trade, is there more food?
Of course. Food I have plenty of. Hey, bring, what do you prefer?
Meat.
Oh,
Meats.
you are just like her. Yes,
Is there wine?
girl after my own heart. Bring mutton and
Aren't
wine.
you married?
Yes, I am. He shows his ring.
Ferris is not invited to the polycule.
For multiple reasons.
For many reasons.
You are brought a plate of roast mutton and a carafe of wine,
Oh, this is wonderful. Am I still
which
is she
he
still
does
handcuffed?
properly. No, you have been released from your handcuffs. He does pour the wine for you, notably.
Oh, what a gentleman.
He's the lord of the place. He should pour the wine. That's appropriate.
Proper. Oh, so then Brayley's gonna ramble on.
Mm-hmm. He
about-
listens. You keep talking, and he doesn't ever try to force you forward or anything. He just listens to every word of the story. When you finally have brought him up to speed, and it is a couple hours before he is brought up to speed, he nods. You know, a long time ago, I had the pleasure of speaking with the spirit of this world. And I swore that I would help to free his love, create a world where he would be able to be reunited with her. It's the greatest failing of my life that I was not able to do that. If Dragon is here, that means that the prime goddess is either still in the void or dead. Either way, something that will need to be fixed.
Are you gonna well, obviously Dragon wants us to just submit. But I think we're definitely gonna need help.
Yes, I think so. It is the tool of an enemy to stoke fear. They Why would Dragon offer us the opportunity to submit when they could as easily roll over us? They live for eternity. They're not bound by mortality. If they are offering us peace, it is because they think they could lose. Brayley Tourmaline.
Varys, what was your last name?
Rayla.
Varys Raylo.
You looked Dragon in the eyes and turned up their offer?
Oh, yeah.
And that is knightly too. I am doing better than most of the others, but even I have paid the price, I'm afraid to say. I had hoped that I would be able to put an end to this war before my time came, but I don't think that will be the case anymore. There will have to be those who pick up the sword in my stead. Take a knee, Brayley.
Me?
Yes.
Why? Okay. And Brayley gets up and she takes a knee.
A long time ago, I met a girl who did not know what her life was supposed to be. She felt lost, confused, afraid, unprepared. Sometimes all we need is someone to tell us that we're ready. Sometimes we need someone else to believe in us first before we can do it ourselves. And he draws his blade and rests it on your shoulder. I name you Ser Brayley. Ser Brayley Tourmaline.
Well, Brayley's kind of shocked because she doesn't really know what. Does she know? Does she understand what it means to be knighted?
I think you would know what it means to be knighted.
Okay.
Yeah. The elves have knightly orders, so you would probably understand that.
Okay.
Rise, Sir Brayley.
Oh, Brayley gets up. She's kind of shocked. She wasn't expecting well, any of it.
I was 13 years old when I was knighted, and I assure you I was not ready for it then. But you will have the... Go ahead.
You think I'm ready for it?
He smiles. No. But I think you'll have the rest of your life to figure out what it means to be ready for it.
Thank you. This means a lot.
He smiles. I'll see what I can do up here. Perhaps I can sway the good princess to send more help.
It might help to know that her princess is Ramiel's brother, right?
Yes.
Or sister. Yeah. It would probably help for her to know that when I last saw Ramiel, he was with Dragon. That I'm not sure what happened to him, but she probably would want to know that.
Melody came to me nearly 20 years ago now and asked me to accompany her to Mother's Jail to fight with her. I told her it was no longer our place to wage war on this world. How ironic that I should end up here doing exactly that. Not a day has gone by that I haven't regretted that choice. We are not what we once were, and we are not what this world would want us to be. Like the Onrado, we too paid the price for bearing divinity in our soul. And he lifts a part of his plate mail to show this dark black veins running through his chest and starting to creep up his neck. I don't have a lot of time left before it takes me, but with what I do have, I'll pledge it to your cause, Sir Braley.
I appreciate that, and I'm sorry that your time is limited.
Everyone's time is limited. The mortal body was not meant to bear the divine, and when me and my friends were chosen by the gods, we gave them a piece of ourselves, and they gave us a piece of themselves. The cost of that is a shortening of our lives.
There's nothing you can do to help, like, barely motions to the veins.
No, unfortunately not. It is the cost of what we had to do, and we've all made our peace with it. Some of us are less affected than others. Falah only carried the burden for much shorter time than we did, so she is not nearly so affected as we all are. But when we realized what was happening and what our fates would eventually be, we knew that it was time for this world to learn to do without us. Perhaps we were looking at it wrong. Perhaps the time we were given was meant for one last hurrah.
Let us hurrah.
I will return you to Mother's Jail. Keep your eye to the horizon. I've decided I don't feel like dying up here.
Thank you. And then Brayley will raise her a cup of wine.
He smacks his cup against yours. Wine splashes everywhere. There's more of it on the floor than there is in the cups now. But he drinks it. And you may now, it is completely up to you. You may go by Sarah or Dame Braley.
Oh.
And would she also be able to multi-class into Paladin?
If she so desired, she could multi-class to Paladin.
Can we Sir Dame Braley?
Sir Dame Braley? That's stupid enough. Varys would be into it. I love it.
Sir Dame Braley.
Don't you mean Dame Braley? Yes, Sir Dame Braley.
I am Sir Dame Braley Tourmaline. Third of my name. Layla, as we jump over to you, on Caldanesh, you have sat down with Falah and are listening to her tell you all about her or what her mother described as the experience with Dragon. She explains that she was being corrupted by an evil magic sword at the time, and so she wasn't doing super good.
It was a whole thing.
It was a whole thing.
It's okay, I got over it though.
Well, so
that is I wasn't aware with that level of detail on the story.
yes,
Well, I'm sure there's a lot that didn't cross the ocean.
we decided after our victory over Scala that while many of the details were worth sharing, some should be kept. Not that we wanted to be dishonest or not tell the people the truth, just there were things that nothing could be done about them, so why bring them up? Why tell people about the alternate future when there's nothing to be done for it? Dragon was a similar thing.
Why put that burden on those?
Yes, who have no way of doing anything about it. If Dragon has truly returned, then nowhere on this planet is safe. What do you intend to do?
Well, it seems that I must also follow in your group's footsteps in terms of being defiant, regardless of chances.
When we said we wanted to inspire people, this really isn't what we had in mind, but I suppose...
Well, it hardly seems reasonable to do anything else.
She smiles at that. It was weird when I joined them. I wasn't chosen. I wasn't handpicked by a goddess, let alone the goddess of fate, to stand amongst them. And yet, I valued the journey all the more for that. Because I wasn't being told to do anything. Every step of the way, it was my choice. And I think there's a lot of value in that, something that the likes of Scala or Dragon will never understand. Choice. That's why we left it to the mortals of this world. That's why we ended the Age of the Divine, because choice is what should matter. And that is a gift of the mortal.
That sort of self-direction is certainly something to be valued.
You are a healer.
Yes.
A healer.
By training and calling.
A healer in a war. What a fascinating thing to be. What a difficult thing to be.
I go where there is need, and there's nowhere in greater need of healing than war-torn places.
Do you know what I was before I became a hero? An assassin. A criminal. A murderer. It's amazing what the hardest circumstances have a way of forging us into.
Pressure is an interesting catalyst.
Yes. Though what is it they say? The same pressure that forges a diamond would crush the bread that tries to rise. As you face Dragon, as you face this war, people are going to try to tell you what must be done. People are going to try to tell you the way things have to be. And I would just have you remember that that is all bullshit. You are mortal. You have choice. You get to choose your path. Never forget that.
And just sort of smile. I don't know that I could have put it better myself.
So, Dragon wants a war, does she?
Well, judging solely by her words, that doesn't actually seem to be the case, but
No.
as I said, I don't think we need to actually discuss her demands.
She didn't make it seriously. She said that because she knows we'll never do it. She wants a war. Well, the Severed Hand has been a construction company for the last 20 years, but I think we still have some pull. All right. The Severed Hand is going to war then.
We appreciate all aid that you are able to render.
Please do not mistake the generosity. There is self-servingness in it as well. I would much rather this war be fought on Mother's Jail than here in Caldanesh, where I've spent so long trying to rebuild the city. Same reason that people send armies to Terrasen to fight Scala while she was here. Better here than on their continent.
Well, I can't argue with that sentiment. It's appreciated nevertheless.
She nods. All right. Well, I don't know how much help you'll be able to get from the other Whispers, but you can count on me. I'll be there.
Thank you. Truly.
Jumping back over to Ramiel. Ramiel, as you're speaking with Violet in these cages, the door does eventually open, and in walks a beautiful purple-scaled dragonborn. Her scales just vaguely glinting in the dim light as she approaches, and you see your mother looking at you. And she can't help but shake her head and smile. Oh, I had a feeling it would be you. Or Arya. Actually, I was betting on Arya, but yeah, this seems about right. Hi.
Ramiel is stunned. And very rare are the times when he is at a loss for words. This is one of them.
Yeah. She seems to notice that. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of questions. But in all honesty, we need to get you out of here. Like I don't know what deal you struck with Dragon to get here, but we need to get you back.
Mum, the entire reason... Mum, everyone is here because of you.
What?
We... Mum enlisted in the war efforts.
Oh, crackers.
Language.
Sorry, she puts a coin in the jar, in the purse. No, that's not what was supposed to happen. I told her I'd be fine.
You've been gone for 6 months, Mother.
Has it really been that long?
It has.
She's counting on her fingers.
Can she count to 6?
Questionable.
I'm just
I
kidding.
didn't even know you were gone until Cadence got kidnapped. Because someone was trying to bribe Mum.
Wait, is Cadence okay?
They're fine.
Okay. Like fine, like they're not dead, or like fine, like they're not traumatized?
Fine as in there are a few issues that need to be dealt with them, but at the moment they're safe.
Okay. Well, that's good. Okay, so then we just got to get you to safety and then get them all to turn around and go back where they came from. Okay, that's going to be a little more work than I was expecting, but it's okay. We can fix this.
Mom, why are you here? How are you walking around?
How with my feet?
I understand that, but I figured, Melody of the Whispers in Silence would be behind bars like me and my friend here, Violet. Violet, this is Melody. Melody, this is Violet.
You can understand her?
Yes. And
that's
he
so
kind of,
cool.
he kind of taps on the diadem.
Hi, I'm Melody. Hi, I'm Violet. Wow, I wasn't able to understand her before. You're so smart. Oh, comprehend languages. I should have thought of that. I can cast that spell.
You can't. What?
Oh, beans.
Language.
She puts another coin in the
Mother.
purse.
What constitutes as language?
Okay.
If you say it like a swear, it's a swear.
Okay. All right. Well, nice to meet you, Violet. Sorry about the whole cage thing. You kind of showed up out of nowhere, and we thought we were being invaded. So
We.
well, the ivory.
Mum. We're fighting the ivory.
Yeah, well, you're fighting some of the ivory, not all the ivory. Some of them. So, some of them, most of them, almost all of them, but not all of them, but most of them serve the Dawn scale. She makes air quotes. But some of them are still fighting back against them, so I'm here helping them, but I can't just I don't know if you know. Look, I try not to be a big deal because I'm really not a big deal. It's actually that's not the point. But I'm here, because I'm supposed to keep record of the stories and keep it. So I'm here to help, and also to help. Mia, mia, mia,
I
mia.
see. So in other words, you are a spy.
Kind of. I mean, so I'm also trying to help Dragon. I promised Dragon a long time ago that I was gonna help this world heal her, and it's admittedly taking longer than I thought.
Mother,
But
I don't know if you've realized this, but the entire fucking war, and he and he stops there and deposits a coin. The entire war is because she committed an atrocity. She committed genocide.
I know. But this world was so terrible to her. I promised her that I would help her, and I'm going to.
And Romeo looks down, and his hands are balled into fists. Mother, I realize that you try to see the good in people, but there are some that are beyond saving.
Oh, Ramiel, have I ever told you about the matriarch?
Not in full detail.
Okay, so Evelyn, you're kind of named for her. Big deal. Evelyn was once both a goddess and a dread demon. She was Evelyn and also the matriarch. And the matriarch was kind of bad, or everyone thought the matriarch was bad, but I realized that if Evelyn had chosen me, that meant the matriarch had also kind of chosen me, and so the matriarch must have also cared, and I was able to reach out, and I was able to make, a connection with them, and I saved them. I know she's a dread demon, but that doesn't mean that they're beyond saving. Even Scala at the end realized that there was a hope for us. And she died doing the right thing, helping to end the Age of the Divine and helping to end the other dread demons. And yeah, sometimes it means helping people we really don't like. Sometimes believing truly that the world can be healed means even the worst people. Your Aunt Soraya was a dread demon once, but she got better. Yeah, Mel, not so fun being on the other side of it, is it? Every time I made a fight about the matriarch, I'm like, they're just going to make peace with her. It was one of the coolest fights I made. We didn't get to do it.
Romuel is as Melody is talking, he has his head down, and the more she talks, the more he starts to tremble.
Oh. Are you cold? I can get you I could probably get you like a blanket or something.
No, Mother, I am trying to keep myself from saying something that I know both of us will regret. I do not want a repeat of when you first found me.
She smiles. Don't bottle it up. You can say it. I don't expect you to agree with me.
And I don't. I cannot comprehend how you can find it in you to forgive someone who has done such terrible things. She made an example out of the people who lived in Fort Argenti because they refused to surrender. It was like Moonbay all over again, Mother.
Yeah. She looks at you. My wanting to help Dragon doesn't necessitate me forgiving her. She has committed unforgivable things, just like Scala did. But if I continue to just hate, and that's all Dragon ever knows, Dragon will just keep coming back. That's what we learned 20 years ago. That's why Scala came back. And it wasn't until the Red Lady took a chance and took her to boss till she was given a measure of leniency, caring, that her reign actually ended. Ramiel. She gets serious in a way you have never seen her get serious. I'm dying. And I want to leave this world to you and your siblings and your mother. I want to leave it in a place where I feel like you might get to live the life that you want to live. And I'm running out of time to do that. Believe me, I wanted nothing more than to just spend my remaining years at home with you all. But I'd have never forgiven myself. And I asked the other Whispers to come with me, but, well, like me, their time is limited now. And many of them have things they need to get done before they go. Rialta has a kid to raise, and she wants to see her get old enough to go out in the world and live her life. Caldana has 3 of them. Falah is putting a whole city together. Even Varys, he's fighting a war that I can even scarcely comprehend. This is what I have to do here. And I have no doubt that you are going to do what you have to do. That's what you've always done.
So, you left because the world needed you.
If it were that simple.
Mother, hurry up.
I know. Arya is...
She is out there somewhere. Because she wants her mother back.
She gets a complicated look on her face.
Your entire family is here because they want you back. I was here because of a damnable voice that started echoing this pact in my head. And it wasn't until I got here that I learned that you were gone.
She, at that, reaches out and kind of tugs aside your collar enough to see the scales. Oh.
You can see them plenty on my arms, Mother.
Yeah, but they have always been on your arms. This is new.
They have not always been on my arms. You know that full well. They started appearing when my fucking... And he cuts himself off, puts another gold in. They started appearing in my arms when my powers manifested, when that voice started filling my head with fulfilling this pact. And it wasn't until I got to Mitra Glorionda that I learned I had family there. I learned what that pact was. I learned who I was.
And now you know.
The more I learn about myself, the more I understand. The less I understand who I am.
Well, nothing I tell you about yourself is gonna make that any simpler. I can tell you this. You're my little boy. Just like you always have been. And that'll never change. Ever since you were little, you've told me that you wanted to be a hero. Sounds to me like destiny's knocking at the door.
I didn't just want to be a hero, Mom. I wanted to be just like you.
No. Now that I won't accept. You have to be better than me. All of you are. Your sisters, too. It's every parent's dream. That you'll all be better. She looks over at Violet. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that you're not a spy. Where are you from? Don't bother. No one knows where it is or what it is. Okay. All right, great. So I'm going to I'm going to send both of you back to what city are you all staying in right now?
We're in Highwall.
Highwall. Oh, you actually made it onto the mainland.
We did.
That's great.
Mom, there is so much I want to tell you. There's people I want you to meet.
Oh? Ramiel, do you have a horn buddy?
And he kind of like grimaces at that and goes, Mom, I don't have horns.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, of course not. It's a turn of phrase, Ramiel.
Yes, I've met people I would like to hold hands with, and he does the air quotes at that.
People? My goodness.
As it turns out, you were right about one thing. This road
Oh.
isn't-
Can we stop pretending we didn't know about that?
Oh,
That you're into boys.
how did how did you know? How did everyone know?
Because you cried when I wouldn't teach you how to do theater makeup.
Well, no, okay. I cried because that was an abhorrent shade for Camille, okay? Why would anyone choose periwinkle for her when it was obvious that her color was chartreuse?
Violet and Melody just look at each other. Right.
Periwinkle.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Okay. Well, what are their names?
Orion is I
Oh,
think
Ryan, that's so pretty.
I think you would like him a lot, Mom. He cooks. He makes the best tarts this side of Serene,
I'm sure he does.
and he's got about the biggest heart that out of anyone I've met.
You should write a song about him.
No, I don't have your talent, Mom.
So what?
My performance, my proficiency in performance lies in other fields, not song or dance.
All right, but I still think it'd be a good song.
Hmm.
How about the other one?
Captain Canis, he's a novice, and
Oh.
well, when we first met, he was the reason I came to terms with this, purported thing that everyone seems to have known about me before I even knew it myself, so...
Okay, well, I look forward to meeting them both.
I do too. And, well, seems we're, my companions and I are indeed following in your footsteps.
She looks at you and reaches out and strokes your cheek. I always knew you would. Look how far you've come, Ramiel Larest. From a scared child on the streets of Moon Bay, all the way across the world, you stared Dragon in the face and said, I'm not afraid. I am so proud of you. And I have no doubt that you're the reason we're going to win this.
That's what the mortal reminders are here for, Mom.
Mortal reminders. I like that. Did you come up with that, or did Nonrado tell you?
It was a concerted effort. I thought it was apt.
She smiles. It is. We wanted a world where mortals were free to make their own choices. And we thought that we had finished the fight for it, but Scala was right. The last thing she said to us is that we would have to keep fighting for it. I'm sorry. I wanted peace for you and your siblings, but that wasn't in the cards.
Please come back.
She looks down. I can't yet.
I didn't think so.
But I'm going to send you two back. She points at Violet. I've got a good feeling about you. You good at punching? Yes. She nods. You've got abs like Caldana did. I assumed so. Okay. So am I not going to be executed then? I don't know. Depends on what her friends do. Okay. So I'm going to send you two back to High Wall. What?
Before you do, Mom, is there anything you want me to tell? Mom, do you want me to tell her about your condition?
Tashira knows. She's known for a long time. But I would have you tell her that when I get back there, I'm going to put my foot up her ass. She drops a coin in the thing for letting my little girl sign up for the army. We're gonna have a talk about that.
I unfortunately had a hand in that.
Okay.
I vouched for her.
Well,
All right. Well, that's interesting. I know who is going to be on kitchen detail for a while.
I figured.
Mm-hmm. And please tell Cadence to stop sending her Raven here. I know it's, her pigeon here.
Wait. Herb was here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fat pigeon.
Yeah, he's hard to miss.
Oh God. Oh God. Mom, that was Cadence.
Oh.
Cadence knows where you've been this entire time.
She has a way of knowing things that she's not supposed to know.
Oh well, therein lies the rub. We're not completely sure if they know certain things about themselves, but as it turns out, Herb is not the only animal that they can turn into, and they like to make stories, backstories for them, and they all seem to center around the fact that said animal is almost always male. So until they discover that venture,
Maybe we'll go with Aiden. She's already thinking up names.
Well, you definitely have to survive long enough for that.
I will, most assuredly. You will see me again. I promise.
Ramiel holds out his hand and sticks his pinky out.
She makes a pinky promise. All right, I have to get you out of here. Dragon's gonna probably be pissed, but whatever. She needs me anyway. So, all right, and she casts teleportation, and the two of you vanish.
What the fuck? She knows teleportation? Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I'm sorry. What was the message she
She definitely forgot to give it to you. She just sent you back.
great.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Love it.
Look.
Yes.
The agita that gives me.
Over to Ayla. Ayla, you have this is your childhood, like, dream come true. You have a dinner, like a proper Kartok tiefling dinner, like this massive feast, and you're like sitting next to Caldana for it. Like 14-year-old you is losing their shit right now.
and past muster in a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she doesn't eat as much as you would think she would, but she does pick at her food before she glances at you. Where are you from? Like originally?
Stone's Throw, actually.
I got married in Stone's Throw.
Yeah, you were kind of a big deal around where I grew up.
Is it still a shithole?
I mean, Hellshold's nice.
Really?
I liked it there. My parents, well, they suck. Nobility sucks.
Ugh. Yeah. Wait, your parents were nobility? I thought you said they were tieflings.
They got rich by being shitty people.
Oh. Well, that is a good way to do it. So, you came out in ASMR and joined the war, huh?
I came out in ASMR who likes fighting rings a little bit too much for my parents.
Ha!
Pleasure. They tried to marry me off. I ran away and ended up in the war.
Caldana looks at Surya. Can we adopt this one? Surya's like, she looks a bit old, I think. Goes back to eating her food.
She's 19.
All right. Well. So you and your friends are pretty set on fighting dragon, huh?
Assuming they're still alive.
True. If they're not, will you still fight her?
Yeah.
She gives you a huge slap on the back. That's what I like to hear. All right. Well. All right. I'm in. Soraya, like, chokes on her wine. I'm sorry. Yeah. Let's go fight. Sounds fun. We haven't done anything interesting in a while. We had kids, 3 of them. Call that pretty interesting.
Okay, this is gonna sound like a super weird question. Has Varys messaged you lately?
Varys? Yeah, not too long ago. He messages every now and then. I mean, I usually don't listen, but...
Okay, well, we met him, and he asked for, like...
I'm
he
sorry.
said you had an ASMR kid and, like, wanted tips.
Oh, yeah.
So if he forgot to message, when her feathers come in, it's going to itch like hell. Also, when she molts, she's going to be fucking miserable.
Caldana just, like, raises her eyebrows, like, interesting. Soraya's writing this down. Uh-huh. Okay. Molting. Molting?
Yeah,
Like-
it sucks.
like-
Every, couple of years.
Okay, great. Is it like a cream I should get, or...
I haven't figured out anything to make it better yet.
Okay. Caldana's just kind of, like, chuckling at this. All right. Yeah. Well, see, now I have to go help. Sorry. That's the laws of the car talk. She does a favor, I owe her a favor now. That has never, ever been a law of the car talk. Well, I'm in charge, so it is now. Soraya just looks exhausted. Hey, you know what? Go ahead. Wait, really? Yeah. No. Go. Go fight. Go, please. I'll be in charge while you're gone. Our people can enter a golden age in your absence.
I'll lean over to Caldana. Does that sound as ominous to you as it does to me?
She just gives you a look. She doesn't, like, turn her head to look at you. She just glances at you with her eyes. Yes.
Okay.
Maybe we'll talk about it tonight. And Soraya nods. Maybe we will. But, well, if Dragon is planning war, I think we can safely bet that war will eventually come to Terrason, where our kids are. Probably would be great if someone went over there and just killed her beforehand, before that that happened. Man, if only there was someone with a blessed sword who is really powerful, who could go over and had experience killing dread demons. Where would we find someone? Just go!
I feel like
Oh
Ayla
my
just
God.
gives her the biggest shit-eating grin. Best I got to whip.
Soraya is just like, just go. I can't even with you. Caldana grins. All right, I'm helping. I'll bring whatever my fangs I can get to go with. Hey, I bet you I can drink more than you.
Just gonna look at Caldana and kind of, you know what, fuck it, you're on.
A drinking contest is had. Does not go well for either of you.
I assumed as much.
You two both have a lot of constitution, but a lot less sense.
Yeah, that sounds. Yeah.
And back over to Nova.
Yes.
As you are speaking with Rialta, who shifts a bit.
That looks painful.
Well, painful is... It's uncomfortable.
Hmm.
I know you don't know much about the Whispers, but we were chosen by the Divine, and we all bore a piece of them with us. But like the Onrado, that comes with a price.
Oh, I see.
Shortens the lifespan significantly. Though, as you can see, we've made it for 20 years, so it's not like it was quite the same price that most Onrado pay.
Do you have any idea how much time you have left?
Probably a few more years.
Well, it stands to reason why you are reluctant to join. I certainly wouldn't.
Yuki was 8 when I met her, and she was already a brilliant girl. She lost her father young and her mother young. And then there was just Martine. And, you know, she always called him her brother, but he was her dad, really. And in that way, I became her mom. I tried to be there for her in whatever way I could, but in the end of the day, I was always kind of a stepmom, you know. Then I had my own, and I remembered what it was like when my dad died, and I wanted to be there for her for as long as I could be. Come, let us go see what the stars have to tell us, shall we?
Very well.
Help me up, will you?
Of course.
And she takes her arm and pushes herself up and makes her way outside where stars have begun to come out now. You can see off in the distance, Opal is pulling Martine around and taking him to different spots to dig. He has a shovel with him, and he looks very tired. But they're digging up seashells. And she nods and sits down again, now near the bonfire, and offers her hand to yours.
Is this part of the star reading?
No, I just like holding your hand.
What?
Of course it's part of the star reading.
Oh. Sorry, I do not know these things.
She, you hear Rashira laugh in your head.
What?
And she glances up at the stars, and as she does, you see the stars reflecting in her eyes, and her eyes just begin to glow like a bajillion stars against a deep indigo background. And she looks up at them. You who are 2. You will never experience the great cycle.
What?
All beings of this world, when they die, they go to Bas and are reborn through Sail, and they live again. So
Right.
too will you be born and live again, but not through the great cycle. When you die, your soul, your spirit, your mind will go to the realm of dreams. And there, a great switch will happen. Your other will become you and be born, and you will become they. So will you dance in this dance for eternity.
How? So, when I die, Rashira's soul will be reborn somewhere,
Something like that.
and
Technically, it's your soul. You two share it.
all right, and then I am where she is now.
Mm-hmm. And you will watch over her, as she does you.
Ah, that explains the near-death experience. Hmm.
She looks up. I see dragon. You speak the truth. And I see that I have to go with you.
What? I thought you said that you wouldn't.
I did. But apparently I was wrong.
In your condition.
She nods.
But-
Apparently.
But your daughter.
She nods. I'm going to take the night to spend with my child and my wife.
Husband.
Or my husband, yeah. Sorry.
This this one did not marry a woman, sorry.
Shocking. Yes. Or did we learn something new about Martine?
You tell me. I lost my mother too when I was young. I don't think it is fair that I have her lose one too.
I guess I can't speak for your mother, but if she's anything like me, she would have happily given her life to know that you would live a better life yourself.
Very well.
You can stay upstairs tonight. We'll head back in the morning.
I'll leave you 3B.
It will be good to get to see the others again, anyway.
You think they are all coming?
She looks up again. Mm-hmm. They'll be there.
All right. We met Varys and Falah.
Oh, how is Varys?
Chatty.
She just nods. Yeah. Yeah.
But otherwise, well, I think lots of fighting saved us from devils. So that was good.
Yeah, Varys is, well, it'll be good to see him. I owe him a smack upside the head.
Oh, why?
He's an idiot with Kelsey.
Right. Well, yeah. Well, you could do it in front of Kelsey. We have our airship, so that is cool.
I have always wanted to ride an airship.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. I mean, you have to get used to the altitude change and everything, but, it's
Oh,
not
well.
bad once you get used to it.
I'm used to high altitudes.
Fair enough.
I was in space once.
You went to space once?
Mhm. When we
What?
fought Scala.
You fought... Where was this in the stories?
You really never have heard about the Whispers in Silence, have you?
I mean, we heard parts and bits and pieces.
They don't tell the story of us going to space to fight Scala. That's kind of a big part of it.
No, they don't.
Okay, you all need to start reading my book. I don't know who's been writing the histories, but I'm going to have a word with them before I die.
Unfortunately, education was a bit sparse where I come from. So, it's just my mother at the brothel house. So, I don't have a copy of your book, I'm sorry.
Well, there's one more I'm going to need to bring with us if we're going to do this properly.
What do you mean?
Well, my brother owes this world a kindness. About time he paid up on it.
The one that got scarlet ear?
Yeah. You should remind him of that. He'll love it.
Somehow I don't think that is true.
No, I think he'll love it. It's all right. He married my girlfriend, so,
Hey, what?
yeah.
That's rough, buddy.
It's all right. I named my child after her.
Damn. Does the husband know about that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
It's all right. Our other one is named after his deceased lover, so.
You have another child?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're at school, but yeah.
Oh. Oh, wait. Older or younger?
Older.
Oh, okay. You have 2 children.
Yep. He attends the College of Arcanum in Terracin.
I see. Does he also collect seashells?
No. He is a bit more, she looks at her daughter fondly. He's different.
Can I ask different in what way?
He's more sociable.
Ah! Well, I suppose someone had to be.
I'll put it this way. I say he attended the College of Arcanum. He was sent to attend the College of Arcanum. He's actually at a bard school, though he doesn't know that we know that.
You sent him to Arcanum school and he said no and went to bard school?
Yes.
Oh, that's rough.
He is... Well... Yeah.
What sort of bard college did he go to?
I try not to ask questions to which I do not want the answer. Nova, you should do the same.
Fair enough. Leave her to her family. So I just talked to Mishira. So, we are part of a unique cycle away from Salem Boss.
Yeah, that is a lot.
That is a lot.
Yes, he is a College of Celebration bard.
I was about to ask
Yes,
that.
yes.
I was like, uh-huh.
Yes, he is part of the College of Celebration, and he likes to party.
College of Debauchery.
He is every bit the social butterfly that his parents are not.
Yeah. With probably mostly his dad's looks.
He is, I mean, he's obviously shorter,
Yeah.
given his parentage, but yes, he is handsome, he is skilled at playing instruments, and he does love ladies.
No.
Yeah, he is very popular,
Anyways, here's Wonderwall.
basically. And I think that's where we're going to wrap up for tonight.